expand our imagination.
Justification for being what you are.
And welcome to Washington Unplugged. I'm Bob Schieffer. Well, this just in, literally. President Obama showed up just a while ago, unexpectedly, for security reasons, of course, in Afghanistan. The White House usually does not announce the president's trip to a war zone, and it didn't this time. But we can report now that his plane landed at Bagram Air Base. There the president is, being greeted by General Petraeus just a while ago. So we expect him to be on the ground there for about 3 hours. ABC's Jake Tapper is the TV pool reporter for this trip. He's the only television reporter with the president. Just filed a report, so let's listen in.
The president's national security team will this month conduct a review of his Afghanistan strategy that he unveiled to the nation 1 year and 2 days ago. But that is not why President Obama is here in Afghanistan today. He is here with one simple purpose: to thank the troops for their service.
We do understand that he's going to award some military awards, some Purple Hearts, while he is there. We will give you more about that. We also, when he speaks to the troops, as you saw, Jake was in the room there where a large contingent of troops are there. When the president decides, when he comes into the room and decides to make his address, we'll cut back to that, of course. Meanwhile, back here in Washington, the talk is all about tax cuts. And here to talk about that is the contributing editor for theloop21.com, Kelli Goff, and Bob Cusack, who is the managing editor for the Hill newspaper. So, are these tax cuts going through? The big argument, of course, is tax cuts for the upper income folks. Republicans want that, Democrats don't. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, I think the White House is going to go along with congressional Republicans. They'll get some things that they want, like the U.S.-Russia arms treaty that's been pending for a long time. They'll also get an extension of unemployment benefits. But Nancy Pelosi is not going to be happy with this deal because it's going, and we're going to have a Democratic Congress for the moment, certainly, and a Democratic White House extending all of the Bush tax cuts, likely for 2 years. They have votes tomorrow in the Senate. Those measures are Democratic measures. They don't have the votes to pass. We saw it in the House. That had the votes to pass the House, but it's not going anywhere in the Senate. So they've got to strike a deal. Republicans have the momentum, and that's what they're going to get. They're going to extension of all the tax, including the wealthy tax cuts.
But so I guess the way the president will get around his statements that he is totally opposed to permanent tax cuts for the upper income people. These will be temporary tax cuts.
That's right. That's right.
Temporary.
It is temporary, but it also, I think, presents him with a political problem if it is 2 years, because then we're having this debate again in 2 years during the presidential.
Well, look, Bill Cosby famously said that if everyone's happy with what you're doing, then you're doing something wrong. And the good news is about what we're going to end up seeing is that neither Democrats are going to be happy or Republicans are going to be happy with the ultimate outcome. You have Treasury Secretary Tim Geithner and White House Budget Director Jack Lew trying to broker this deal. And what they're trying to broker is that you'll have an extension of the tax cuts for 2 years, all of them, and then an extension of federal unemployment benefits for 1 year. That's what they're trying to go for. Now, whether or not we're going to ultimately see that happen, that's still the looming question mark. But basically, you have them acknowledging that probably neither side is going to be ultimately happy with the outcome, so they might as well go ahead and settle for something that's better than nothing.
But that's what the deal is. But I mean, now there's going to be a vote in the Senate tomorrow.
Saturday.
What happens on that?
Well, you know, they're trying to do cloture to get around this filibuster that's been preventing things from going to the floor. And look, you know, I know that you said that the Republicans have the momentum. I will say this, that you are looking at a couple of million people who are going to run out of these unemployment benefits by Christmas time. That's not exactly, you know, a positive thing to have going for your party, to be blamed for a bunch of people not being able to stuff their kids' Christmas stockings because mom and dad have no money, you know. And so I don't know that I necessarily agree that from an image perspective that the momentum really is on Republican side, because they don't want to end up looking like Scrooge.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's just talk from a realistic side. Is this going to pass before this lame duck session is out this year? Because all of the tax cuts for everybody expire at the end of this year, right?
Oh, I think so, Bob. I think that the White House is very intent on making sure a tax cut measure, because there are advisors at the White House who acknowledge, and Peter Orszag, former budget director, has said that we should extend all the tax cuts, including for the wealthy, especially when the ailing economy needs so much help. So I think we will get a deal. It could be close to Christmas Eve, maybe, but we'll get a deal.
And one thing we're forgetting, too, really quickly, is that the treaty is going to take at least a week. The Republicans
This
have
is
said
the nuclear arms treaty, the New START treaty.
The Republicans have been very clear and said we want at least a week to go over this and think about that. So that makes time of the essence, because they're not even going to get to that until the tax cut issue is resolved. So the clock is really ticking. I mean, they've really got to reach a resolution in the early part of next week for everyone to get things done by Christmas time.
You think they'll get that too? But you think, both of you seem to think that the START treaty is going to be part of this deal. I mean,
right. Well, that's always the case with Washington. You want to talk about war, you got to talk about college tuition tax credits, right? Somehow they all end up going together, even though it doesn't make any sense.
All right. Well, thank you all both for that. It's very enlightening. And there's something else that a large number of people want to see happen during this lame duck, and we don't know yet if it is going to happen or not, and that is the DREAM Act. Gaby Pacheco is a 25-year-old college graduate with 3 degrees and now teaches music to autistic children. She's also undocumented, and she's taken a huge risk becoming a vocal activist for passage of this DREAM Act, which is a hot topic on Capitol Hill. And Gaby, just tell us in a sentence or two, what is the DREAM Act and what's it going to do?
The DREAM Act is a legislation that would allow students like myself that came to the United States as children the opportunity to give back to the country we call home, the opportunity to serve in the military and fight in the line of duty hand in hand with our friends, the people that we grew up with, and at the same time have the opportunity to go to college and come back and give to the economy that is so much needed right now for our force and our taxes.
Well, does it give you citizenship or just a legal reason to live here? How actually does it work?
Right now, what the DREAM Act says is that it's going to give us a non-immigrant visa for 10 years. And after those 10 years, and we've been able to do either 2 years of college or 2 years in the military, have had good moral character, nothing that is, bad or a misconduct, we would be able to apply for legal permanent residency.
I see. And where is it right now? They're saying that it may not get done in the lame duck simply because there are other things ahead of it.
Well, we know that this is a priority. We know that Senator Harry Reid has talked about it. We know that the Latino vote was the one that pushed it and was able to get him to win his reelection in Nevada. And so this is something that is an issue that is affecting a lot of students. We've had this for over 10 years. And now we've been able to see a new report that the CBO has brought out that says that it's going to bring a 1.4 net income over a 10-year period. And this is something that we've always felt in our heart, that we are part of not a problem but a solution to this country that we love, and we're just asking, let us give back.
Aren't you taking a chance here to come forward like this? Because really they could tell you to leave.
That's correct, and they'll be telling me to leave to a country I don't know. I've been here since I was a child, 18 years.
Where would you have to go back to?
I would have to go back to Ecuador.
Ecuador?
Yes.
Have you ever been to Ecuador?
Since I came to the United States, I have not.
And you were how old when you came here?
I was 7 years old.
So, if you had your druthers, what would you like to see happen here?
I would really like to see the DREAM Act moving forward and passing. I would like to see that as a Christmas gift for myself and for thousands of students all across the United States who, we had a whole bunch of students with the military flags yesterday doing drills and actually going to recruiters and asking, please let me serve. And so, for us, it would be a tremendous gift and an opportunity for me as a special education teacher who works with autistic kids to be able to fully do and give my dream, which is to work with those much needed population.
Well, good for you and good luck. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, that's it for Washington Unplugged. Don't forget to watch the CBS Evening News tonight. Check with CBS Radio to get the very latest on President Obama. To repeat, he is in Afghanistan on a surprise visit. We expect him to be on the ground shortly for a short time there, probably no more than 4 hours. Where he goes from there, he's not altogether clear right now. So stay with CBS on radio, television, or on the web for the latest on that. And don't forget to watch Face the Nation this Sunday on television. I'm Bob Schieffer, and I hope you have a great weekend.